Hi, my name is Jillian, this is my channel, and I want to talk about, intelligence, and feeling smart, not feeling smart, and I guess, imposter syndrome. I would like to note a couple things. One, I've not been, I don't know if you can get diagnosed with imposter syndrome, so I'm not really going to say that much, but I do relate to it a lot. That's sort of an example of it, but I don't know, deep lore about it, so I can't say that I have it, obviously, but I do relate to it a lot. That's one thing. Also, this isn't some kind of vent, nor is it some kind of brag, and I know that imposter syndrome doesn't just apply to school, but this is a school-specific video. Okay, with that being said, let me give you some backstory, I guess. I don't know. Also, I'm reading off of a little note on my computer. So I never really felt like I belonged at school, and I went to a smart people school, quote unquote, that you have to test into. I went there starting in 2nd grade. The school was not very neurodivergent friendly, and I am neurodivergent in a lot of different ways. So I felt really out of place. But I really thrived at the school for a bit, up until maybe 5th or 6th grade when I started middle school, and I started getting really stressed out. This was around when my mental health started to ramp up negatively, and I had a lot of homework, and I just felt like I couldn't keep up. Everything was really piling on me, and I just was really stressed out. So around 6th and 7th grade, I started to get worse and worse in terms of grades and academics. And I wasn't failing anything necessarily, but my grades used to be really good, and they were slowly getting worse. And I almost failed one class because I was absent for a lot of that year. Just mental health issues, I was in the hospital a lot. I switched to a different school, my current school, and I started feeling a lot better. But still to this day, I really doubt my abilities and my intelligence sometimes. So that's my backstory. But I just I want to list out things and delve deeper into them, I guess. I definitely feel like I'm not as smart as those around me, even though I know that's not true. I mean, people call me smart all the time, not to brag, but I just think about how I used to feel, especially in math, which was one of my most challenging subjects because it was cumulative. I got that word right, I always mess up that word. And I missed a lot of school due to mental health, like I said. I would take tests, get my grade back, and feel disappointed, and not only that, but then I would see my peers bragging about their 100%, their 150%, just insanely high scores, and it would make me feel really terrible about myself. So ever since that point in my life, I pushed myself a little too hard and held very, very, very high expectations for myself that I put really too much stake into. I make it too much of a big deal in my head. It's really not that important, but I just build it up in my head a lot. I just want to be the best of all time, which is impossible, but I continue to feel like I should, even when what I'm doing now is good enough. So, yeah, I guess I really just have a lot of, I wouldn't say trauma, but I would say there's definitely that past memory or feeling of not being good enough that has factored into how I feel now about myself. I do really well in school, I get amazing grades, I mean, not to brag, but even still, I feel the people around me are just better than me, and it really freaks me out sometimes. I think especially in terms of more street smarts, because quick, witty logic I'm not good with, mostly because I'm just not very good with processing things quickly, especially auditory processing. I have hearing loss, so it's really hard for me to understand what people are saying, and it makes it hard for me to process it and give a response back quicker. And I also have really bad memory loss, so a lot of things that you should remember that would help you be smarter logically, I don't remember to do. For example, taking my meds. When I'm at home, I always forget to take my morning med. Not so much my night meds, but my morning meds, I always forget them. And that's just logic, but it's also factored with memory because, hey, I don't have good memory at all. So it's just stuff like that I feel, I guess, the most insecure about, but there's just a lot of different stuff that goes into it, And I definitely wanted to bring it up because I feel like there are definitely a lot of people like me that feel the sense of like they don't belong, like they're not good enough. And I just feel like that's very interesting because almost everyone I've talked to, and this is just sort of not a brag, I know I keep on saying this, but this is not a brag, this is more so me trying to show you, like, if you feel this way, it's not always true. A lot of people, if not almost everyone I've talked to, have said at some point, like, you're very smart, and I really appreciate that. Like, truly, it means so much to me. But it's a very interesting contrast from my thoughts because, like, I really do doubt myself very often. It's very hard for me to have this consistent positive image of me in my head, or, like, you know, mentally. But I feel like other people do. Other people have a very positive image of me in their head. And I think it's just a very interesting contrast, you know? And I also really do feel like, you know, it's complicated. There are a lot of factors that go into feeling this way, and I don't know. I just want to let you guys know, if you feel this way, it's okay. Like, I feel that way too, and like truly I think a lot of people, especially me and my girlfriend, love to talk about how things like this are like smart people problems, you know, because she is like so smart, like really smart, like one of the smartest people I know, like truly, and we both feel the same way about each other for things that we think, you know. And it's like, I one time told her, you know, I feel like you're the smartest person I've ever met. She was like, I feel that way about you. It's like, but I don't know, I just feel like this is like a smart people problem, you know, like, if you feel like you aren't smart enough, that's a sign that you are smart enough. I also feel that way with emotional maturity, which is really where I think I thrive, because I really think I have very good emotional intelligence. I think that I'm very good at being emotionally mature and being very self-aware and very empathetic in a way. So I always like to tell people, you know, if you feel like you are being unkind, if you feel like you're being unaware or anything that you could think of as negative, if you're thinking that, if you're worrying that you are that way, I can tell you right now, you are much more emotionally mature than someone who is actively doing that. Like, maybe you are, for example, being a bully, but the fact that you can acknowledge that and like have a thought that maybe you are that way shows you like you're better than someone else, you know? I feel like if you have that understanding or self-awareness, you are way more emotionally mature than a lot of people that I know, okay? So just understand that, you know? And I think, don't doubt yourself, you know? Comparison is a thief of joy, and you should live based on you. Like, compare yourself to you as much as it's healthy, I guess, but you work at your pace, do what you can do. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't have to be the prettiest person in the world or the best person in the world. Just be you and try to be your best version of you. I know that sounds really corny, but I really do believe it. I mean, I will say it again. Comparison is such a thief of joy. A butterfly can't see its own wings. You know, I say that all the time, but it's so true. So just believe in yourself, I guess. It's okay. Like, trust me, it's not the end of the world if you get a lower grade than you usually do on your test. Like, I don't know. Okay, that's all. Thank you for listening. Bye.